Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown back with another episode of Three Body Problem. This is episode 7 called Only Advance. And this is the penultimate episode, and I'm definitely concerned that there is gonna be a big problem with lack of trust between the people that know what's going on and the people that don't know what's going on, which is basically the one guy that knows what's going on and everybody else that doesn't really, like they just know little bits and pieces. I think they're lacking so much information that they might as well not know anything. And we have not seen anything with those video game VR headset things for a while. Because that ship is not going anymore. Maybe they are not going.
I mean, they used the headsets after the ship was destroyed.
They did?
Pretty sure. They have the whole...
Oh, yeah, they did that end thing. Does that mean that nobody else is using them? May just not be paying any attention to or focusing on that.
Huh?
The VR headsets, since the point where the two went to talk to their AI character or whatever.
Alright, yeah, I just got up here after that.
Right. Let's get started with the episode.
The first star that you see,
All right, got it.
that's it. That's DX3906.
Oh no, that's not it.
Fuck, did I get the parallax wrong?
How the fuck would I know which one is DX3906?
No, that's DX3905. You're a fucking asshole. 401.5 light years.
Think about the light Jim Star is emitting right now. I mean, by the time it gets here, the Santee will be here too.
It's actually kind of red.
That's why I picked. Wanted her to be able to look into the night sky and say, that one is mine.
You feel good doing something that crazy?
Couldn't think of any better place to put that money.
Nope.
He's like, I don't have to give it
You
to
know,
somebody.
You
don't have
I'm
to
just saying, if you
have
did,
anybody
you never
fighting
know. But
over
you
the
never
fact
know.
that
Fucking
he
telling
gave
your
it
eyes.
to
Oh, I
them.
I
think
think you have to swear someone to secrecy before you tell them the
Promise
secret.
me, you will never tell her.
While you're alive.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. Will. Hey. Come on. Will. Will.
It's his last dying wish.
Yeah. It's the one thing that I would personally, like, I would keep it while they're alive and then break it once they're dead.
Well, then, all right.
He's better than good. Hey, Will, check this out. He's as high as Willie Nelson right now.
You're as high as Willie Nelson. No immediate danger. How many people can say that for sure?
No, not me.
Come when you can.
Yeah, I will. Thanks, Saul.
Wow.
Fuck me. Aren't those insanely expensive?
All who is from?
Nope.
You seem to be in denial about how weird this is.
Just your weirdness, Horizons.
Just your weird.
Some crazy.
Well, according to these documents, you are the legal owner of star number DX3906.
Dr. Demikov has been doing good work keeping things alive under extreme conditions.
We were just wondering if we belong in this meeting.
Traveling 1% of light speed? How long will it take the staircase probe to reach the Santee fleet?
200 years.
Into the probe's occupant during that time.
Death?
You do belong in this meeting.
Is it alive?
He's not dead. He's not alive. He's somewhere in between.
And then when you're ready to not have him that way, then what happens?
Slow down 1,000-fold, but not stop.
That was very fast.
Well,
It was trying to be fast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it has to be fast for it to survive.
Which is why it's much impossible.
If it works for Коля, it will work for a person. Ну, привет, Коля. Скажи привет, Коля. Молодец. Отлично, какой ты молодец, Коля.
I'm so used to seeing sci-fi movies where they do something like that and then just when they think everything's fine.
Typical side effect.
That looks like a typical side effect I would think of.
Who's gonna run things here?
I am. I'm gonna wake up for a week every year, fix the fuck-ups, visit mum, hire people, fire people, go to Wimbledon, and then go back on there.
What, for 400 years?
Someone has to be here to welcome them when they arrive, and someone has to keep the plan on track.
You could just train someone to run staircase.
Last that one.
Staircase is a project, not a plan. Even you could
You'll
run that.
have to adjust
There are
their
dozens of
eating
people who could
habits
oversee the project.
things that they
There's only
don't
one
spend
person on
time
earth who could
dealing
oversee
with.
the plan.
On Earth, that's a bit much.
Aristotle thought false humility was just as bad as arrogance.
Aristotle thought that rocks fell down instead of up because they loved the ground. Why only you? Why not someone else?
No one else can handle it.
Thing planned that no one else but you can handle.
Only advance.
I don't know what that means.
You will when you get there. The future's not as far as it used to be. Not for us.
The staircase probe needs. It's a nanofiber weave, not the single strand we've made so far. It's a lot more complicated. There's also heat and stress tolerance to be considered. I can make it work, yes. My mother's family. I saw what the world did to them.
You're not on the wrong side. Be faced with a choice. Leave or die.
400 years is soon.
It's the blink of an eye.
Some days I think it's possible. And some days I think that the people getting fucked over will always get fucked over. They will always be the last in line.
You feeling away?
It's been a while.
It has. I know. We feel bad about that.
We do. I got exactly where I belonged. I didn't get any further because I wasn't smart enough.
Well, you were smart enough to do almost anything. You were the smartest person we knew. I had to go off and do waitressing and filing and...
We want to start a family, Will.
What's happened to you is fucking unfair. I'm fucking terrible. You said yourself you're dying. Since you don't have anyone...
What if I love somebody?
Whoever she is...
Maybe it's a...
Whatever. And we're your family, Will. And whatever Mum left you, it should go to us.
You're right. Whatever Mum left me is yours. I won't touch a penny of it.
Imagine she had left like a single dime or something.
We needed 1,000 bombs for staircase.
He's like,
We've got just over 300. We're not getting any more.
Telling them about the
heaviest payload it can carry is under 2 kilograms.
So very small person.
All that we are is up here. You want to understand us? Don't worry. We'll send you someone smart. You need someone who actually understands the people who make decisions around here.
I'll go.
Who are you?
Edgar.
I'm talking about serious people. What about it? Serious people? We need someone who knows about physics, chemistry, rocket science. Someone who's willing to die, someone who's dying already.
Yeah, I know exactly.
He knows exactly who he's talking about.
No,
too.
she knows somebody who's dying already.
Yes, and he knows who it is.
It'll shoot us forward 2 generations in all of them. Even if it's a failure, if find him, he can learn about things that we wouldn't know otherwise. Only Will Downing truly knows Will Downing.
I don't know. A lot of times other people know.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 1,000. Do you know what it is?
They know themselves.
That's right, you don't. Neither do they.
I'm leaving.
I thought he was going to be playing with his son.
I mean, I don't play games like that very often, but every once in a while they're fun.
Heart Snatcher. You're just button mashing. Got to learn some combos.
Yeah, well.
What's that?
My idea of combos is mashing the buttons until I remember a movement that actually seems to do something that
What's
I
the
like.
Great Escape? It's my business.
In other words,
Mine and Ali's.
It's legit.
I move my thumbs like this, and it seems to
Guy, you should
actually
explain
do
it.
something.
Just on the website.
Let's do it again.
Bernadette, so future for your descendants on Mars or other habitable planets. And branding concepts on the next page.
Which is true. If I could remember those random numbers, I'm more likely to remember a specific movement than I am a random set of
How's someone
numbers.
going to escape into outer space for 40 quid a month?
It's like a pension account.
That grows and creates more money.
And, do the maths.
This is impressive, Reg, that you've done this all on your own.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
But it is bollocks.
It's not real.
Help me make it real.
I don't know how.
So help you figure it
So
out.
all of this, is this real? Because if this is what real is, I'm not interested.
I don't blame you at all. He's got a point.
Mars is not going to be fine.
I can't afford to wait any longer. I wanted to tell you in person. I have no choice in the matter.
We all have choices.
I've never been less happy about a business decision. By all means, finish your tweet.
Just doing what I have to do.
Fired.
Should belong to everybody. It does if I give it to all of our research, this on WikiLeaks and Archive and a dozen other open source platforms.
You wouldn't.
This is something that I wanted
just
to
did.
talk about. I'll wait till
Oh,
it's
can you-
over. Just remind me.
It belongs to the
The
company
open
and I
source
invested
thing.
you.
But go ahead. Sue all the governments of the developing world. That'll make you popular.
You'll end up in prison.
Well, they better arrest me fast. My flight leaves in 3 hours.
For your life, burn it all down and go and get drunk.
And that's what she got you, huh?
Yeah. Doesn't sound real.
None of it sounds real.
Science fiction.
Fairy tales.
You still have that?
Of course.
1% of light speed. It's almost 2,000 miles per second. You always worked big.
It would be an amazing accomplishment.
We're gonna find someone else, okay?
Who else is there?
I'm afraid that's classified.
And everything else you've told me isn't.
Well, if you don't have a passenger, it doesn't really work then, does it?
Are you talking him into it while trying to talk him out of it?
Yeah, of course.
I just
On
didn't
his
have the equipment.
deathbed
I made my peace with it.
Differently when you're dying.
But now we could both work big.
What? Why are you staring at me?
No.
I'm seeing you. Maybe it's when you're dying. But I see you. And I love you.
And you're dying.
Yeah, now his friend doesn't have to keep that secret from her.
Tell me not.
I find it very weird, though, that people go through life like this where one person loves the other person and the person doesn't freaking figure it out. Even though the signs are all there and have been there the whole time. Even though multiple friends know and can see it.
My friends didn't tell me we were stalking me.
It wasn't yours. I wasn't really stalking you. That's...
Well, she didn't like follow me around, but she asked people.
Oh yeah. She said her daughter wasn't actually playing, she just made it up.
But I need to speak with you.
She knew you called them here. It never made sense. Her killing herself over the work.
She must have come across something.
And she started digging.
She always said you were the smartest one.
That does
She
sound
was smart,
like something that would break you to a point.
She
where
figured things out.
Killing yourself.
You failed her.
I failed more people than anyone ever.
How can you live with it?
I won't have to much longer. Why weren't you running your own lab instead of working at Ferris? Would you like to hear a joke?
Your own lab requires you to take leadership position that you may just not be that kind of person, or you may not feel that he's that kind of person.
Einstein dies, and he has his violin. He loves his violin. He imagines he'll be pretty damn good. So he starts tuning up, and the angels rush at him. Don't do that. God won't like it. He doesn't play. But it's difficult. He loves music, and there's actually not much to do in heaven. From high above, he has a saxophone. I'm going to play with him. Saxophone stops, and God appears. And kicks him in the balls, which hurts, even in heaven. He smashes Einstein's beloved violin, writhes on the ground, holding his smashed balls. An angel comes over and says, "We warned you, never play with God."
Never play with God.
With God.
It's not that. It's just
Humor is a very personal thing. Some people understand it and some people don't.
Some jokes are so private they only make sense to two people. Jokes are important.
We wouldn't survive without them. Don't you agree?
Is this another thing that the aliens don't understand and she realizes that and she's trying to use it as a way to kind of talk in code?
Like, they don't understand lying, so they don't understand metaphors.
Right.
And they've only used one metaphor, and that's...
Well, the test scores are good.
It is weird. Like, I feel like I should really hate her character, but like, there's so many times she starts talking, and I just can't help but like her character, even though I should hate it.
Was harm to humanity. No, I won't sign that. Because I don't feel any loyalty to the human race.
So why are you doing this?
They might end up being better than us.
Why would I swear loyalty to us if they could end up being better?
We're so
They're invading us. They're coming to conquer us, and you don't want to help us prevent that?
Jin thinks it's what I should do, and I trust her.
If you want me to sign a loyalty oath to her, then I will. But to humanity.
If you want me to sign a loyalty to her, I will.
How is he signing a paper to humanity have to do with anything now? It's signing a paper. What are you gonna do if I don't?
We'll be in touch shortly regarding next steps.
Is that even, like, legal? Like, oh yeah, you're not allowed to cause any harm to the human race. Isn't that already...
Was it possibly he's just like walking out so he can go get it?
Really might not be.
That's why they'll go out of their way to pick him up.
Are we ever gonna get some of her backstory?
Nah, she doesn't have a backstory. She just appeared.
Is that thing of Doctor?
She's no longer just showing up to other people.
Hello, Tatiana.
She's like, you're talking to me.
I heard you were done speaking to us.
But we're not done speaking to you.
What am I?
Nothing.
A bug?
Exactly what you are. You are a part of something much larger than yourself. You're a part of us. And we need you.
You are somebody we can use.
Of course, they've all been.
Hello? I'm Dr. Ye.
Fedani.
I changed my seat so we could sit together.
It would be nice to have someone to talk to.
She's like, I know you've been following me.
Yeah, it's a long flight.
The questions are designed to avoid the possibility of accidental consent. Take as much time as you need.
Look, I accidentally consented 4 times.
Jin,
I told her not to come.
Did you get a chance to thank him?
For your star.
Oh, he didn't tell you. Yeah.
I
It's a
figured
worthless
she would
piece
have
of paper.
figured that out when
Drop your
he
price
was
and resell
telling
it.
her
I'll be-
that he loved her. Who else has that?
It wasn't. It was the King's Arms.
you told her that you thought C.S. Lewis was a shitty writer.
And she thought it was disrespectful. And he was a shitty writer.
This guy is like an adult version of one of my friends from high school.
Well,
He looks the same, just with a beard.
I'm not getting any younger.
And he sounds the same, but more adult.
Okay, but seriously,
That's the way to do it.
not alive and not dead.
I'm completely unaware the whole time. So basically dead, which is what I was going to be seeing anyways.
Since eventually it would decay.
That's best case scenario. Because if they find you, then maybe the question goes in, answer comes out. Whether you like it or not, they just read your mind.
So they read Diary of a Nobody. And they switch me off and we're back to dead.
They run experiments on you to learn what makes us happy.
That's starting to sound pretty good, actually.
What makes us unhappy.
They can do whatever they want to you. They can push you to the limit and past it, but you don't get to die.
We don't know what they are. But compared to us, it's exactly what they told us. We are bugs. Bugs don't know why terrible things happen to them. They're bugs.
don't try to figure it out. You just stay away from them.
Very good point.
If Beetle is about to die anyway, it doesn't matter.
How many was that?
The next one is the last one.
You know, maybe it won't be as bad as all that. Maybe it'll be like I'm a pet to them.
Maybe it'll be like entertainment.
What do you do for entertainment?
Yeah, we get a lot of our entertainment
What's your favorite
from
movie?
misery of others.
The Shining.
Did they make you live through The Shining?
How many people get this opportunity?
Not many.
I never had many friends.
Thanks to you guys.
Always felt like enough.
I'm gonna miss you, man.
No, why would you miss your best friend? Never.
Good. They bring me back, I'll miss you too.
Mom's over there, that's sad.
I'm just thinking about that one computerized road test that I had to take for getting my license. And I accidentally pushed the wrong birthday and had to redo the whole thing. And I'm like, all he has to do is like accidentally press one number and be like, I messed up, I have to redo the whole thing now. Just to give my consent.
Imagine if all like 200 of those years you're just floating in this boat.
Go to the that front desk.
It looks like his head is still.
Yeah, it does.
Imagine if they put like a mannequin head into there.
Like, what did they take off from him? I thought they were taking his whole body.
I mean, I thought they said just a head.
The old radar dish. First message.
If you don't mind, could I have a few minutes alone?
Is she gonna send another message?
Imagine.
Is it gonna work? Does it have power?
I have no idea.
Okay, it looks like it's broken down.
Yeah, it looks pretty
She
fun.
made it sound like she's gonna do some big thing. Maybe that, kill herself.
Oh, that works.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I would say that the special thing she was going to do might have been the weird thing she told the other guy. That's all I can think of. But maybe there's something that she left here.
Right. Because you have a large part of your life doing tremendous work, but you're doing it while really being held prisoner, basically. You might have some secret that you don't want them to know about that you hide somewhere.
No thanks.
And you might also want to kill yourself.
That looks like a
Hello, dear.
very, very
It's a girl.
Yep.
Tatiana was Officer Collins.
Was that his name? Be horrible. That fool. I can give you something better. Something gentle.
Some of the most beautiful country in the world.
It'll all be better when the Lord gets here. You deserve a rest.
Which was another slow episode.
We don't even know what they look like.
I really want to know.
You don't know what they look like. They could look like bugs.
Yeah, if I were that guy when he was in the game, you didn't like what you see. I'd be like, I don't give a shit. I still want to know. Like, unless it's gonna make my mind melt or something, I don't care if I don't like it.
That would be funny if they are like bugs and they just called us bugs because we were like them. Thought we were like them
or movie or something where aliens came to Earth. They're like doing all these great things for everyone, and there was like one person that was communicating with the alien, And eventually they decide to show them to the person so that they can see why people shouldn't see what they look like. And it's like the spitting image of Satan. And the whole idea was that they had gone to Earth before, and that's why all that religious stuff about Satan exists. And they were making the children of the humans gain like godhood, but they couldn't have more children. And they would like ascend, and then they would take those god children to their planet, which is basically hell. And they did that with like a bunch of planets because they can't become gods. They can create gods or something. It was really weird.
The thing that I was going to talk about, the open source stuff, when I was in school, at least a couple of the classes, that was like a major part of the class, the importance of having things open source and opening them up to everybody. You might think, oh, you're getting a bunch of novices and people that don't know what the fuck they're doing involved in something and they'll mess shit up, but the reality is you also get a lot of the best and brightest that wouldn't be involved otherwise. You get a lot of people that might not be the best and brightest, but still together, like they can do a lot more than they can apart, and that they've actually made several advances that way because of making certain things open source and opening it up to everybody, so that you have like a whole bunch of data points going on at the same time, whole bunch of people working on stuff in their own way from their own body of knowledge and their own perspective, and it actually worked, really advanced things a lot faster than it was advancing before.
And we can't really advance as a species without giving everybody access to our advancements eventually. That's why like a lot of times when people make some sort of really like advanced thing in production or design or something to the everyday public, it really helps, and it makes it so that random people have the ability to do professional level work without paying any money.
Yeah. And one other thing, I don't know if this is anything or just my brain working the messed up way that it does. That last scene with those two sitting there, I just kept imagining one of them or the other of them turning around and doing something completely different than what the other was expecting. But mostly I kept thinking right at the last second, throwing the other girl over.
I thought that it would either be she like runs at her when she's looking over the cliff and knocks her off along with her, or when they're hugging she jumps off with her.
It seems like she's been having many second thoughts about the whole thing. And the other girl, I don't know. Like, we know really nothing about her, so I have no idea how to know what she's going to do. It does appear that they utilized her as a person to end people's lives, basically, and send messages. Here, you do this, you don't do what I say, then I'm gonna go and end your life. Basically, that's what it seemed like. She's our messenger and our hitman. Let's watch the inside the episode, and then we have one more episode to go. So next episode is the finale for the season. All right.
Soon we may be faced with a choice. Leave or die.
Will probably was in love with Jin from the moment he met her, and he has thought a million times about what would happen if he told her how he felt about her, and every time he runs that one in his head, it ends up not working out and destroying a really, really nice, meaningful friendship.
Someone came for you.
Raj is probably the first romantic person that she's gotten this close with.
Raj is a lover. As loyal as he is to the Navy, to his family, he's that loyal as a partner in this relationship.
But she has a really special friendship with Will. No matter what storms are going on, he's like the island that she can always go to where everything is calm.
He found a way to give her something, and it's really selfless. It's an anonymous gift. He makes Saul, at the beginning of the episode, promise never to tell Jin that it was him who gave the gift.
Mr. Downing, you're perfect for the staircase project.
There's one scene in particular that we knew was going to be one of the emotionally climactic points of the series.
You tell Wade you're not going to do it.
She came into the scene to convince him not to be a part of this, but he's giving her permission to do the thing that she feels terrible about wanting to do. And as the scene unfolds, he sees an opportunity to tell the woman that he loves how he feels about her.
I love you.
That was the chemistry read scene.
Yeah, and the two of them really did a great job of layering in all those different emotions and angles into relatively short scene without all that much dialogue.
Are we talking about killing someone for this?
And we weren't before?
Augie was always reluctant to work with Wade. She despises Wade for what happened in Panama. But she did it for Jin, because she does believe in Jin. She does believe this staircase project, maybe some good could come of it. So she goes to Witchwood to work with her best friend and design a nanosail. And then after Wade reveals his plan about using Will's brain, she's just had enough.
I'm leaving.
We had a good conversation when we were deciding how Augie was going to get her revenge on Porlock. We called some venture capitalists.
We called Scott Stanford, who's friends with us, and we were trying to talk this through because we had a lot of solutions, but they were all very
dumb.
They were, first of all, dumb, and they were, second of all, they took a long time to say.
Right.
And the idea of open sourcing all of her work, of putting it out there into the world in a form that anybody could basically steal and use, was what Scott and his friends put out there for us, for which we are grateful.
All of our research, the specs on our equipment, our work on upscaling and applications. All in WikiLeaks, an archive, and a dozen other open source platforms.
You'll end up in prison.
They better arrest me fast. My flight leaves in 3 hours.
Also, having Adrian Edmondson in the show was another, like, just
my God.
Shooting in the UK, like, all our favorite British comedians got to be in the show.
I think if you watch the show as an American, maybe who hasn't seen his previous work, you wouldn't guess that he was a famous comic actor because he's so incredible.
You think he was a great English character actor, maybe. We've got a reveal of young Vera as the model for a follower in the game. That's actually in a picture in Evan's office all along, which some people will notice and some people won't. And we realize that the little girl that needed to be protected was her own daughter, which tells you a lot about what it means to have failed her daughter in this way and then found out it was all for nothing. So that's the moment, remembering her daughter when she makes the final determination that she's got to call Saul and she needs to do her best to try to tell Saul whatever she's figured out that she thinks might be helpful to him and everybody else going forward.
The only person left who reflected a piece of her daughter was Saul. I do think that she wants the best for him. So Einstein dies. He finds himself in heaven.
The Einstein in heaven joke, it just does kind of, it makes you wonder what the hell Ye is talking about.
God appears. He marches over to Einstein and kicks him in the balls, which hurts even in heaven.
Presumably Ye wrote this joke ahead of time. It doesn't really sound like an off-the-cuff kind
Improv.
of. Well, it doesn't sound like
Just
an
been
improv.
taking improv classes in prison.
An angel comes over and says, "We warned you. Never play with God."
In the books, the explanation is much longer and much more explicit. On screen, it's cryptic enough that it's something to puzzle over what she's trying to tell you. But it's clear she's trying to tell Saul something.
But it definitely feels like an analogy of what she did.
No, you can't.
Where she was.
Unlike Evans, unlike Ye, Tatiana, and she grew up with knowledge of the Santi and that they were coming and that the world is going to be a better place. She says it explicitly in that last scene. And you see her beaming when she says it, and you know she believes it. And you also see Ye looking at her, and Ye, who has come to learn the truth about the Santi's intentions. She sees this beaming face of the true believer, and it's a kind of heartbreaking moment for her, but not for Tatiana.
It'd be horrible.
That fool?
When, dies. That I thought was going to be horrific, and yet it turned out to be really a highlight of this entire shoot.
Tatiana says, I want to give you something better, something beautiful. And showing gruesomeness is not going to be that beautiful.
She's going to help this woman that she admires. And yeah, I believe Tatiana when she says, I've got something much more beautiful for you.
Please. I can give you something better. Something gentle. Something beautiful.
Yeah.
We were watching a sunset. Where's the other guy that said he would be up there in 10 minutes?
I'm pretty sure she killed him.
Yeah.
That's why she was like, that was his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it'd be funny if she's like, I have a more beautiful way of getting you out of all this. Then she like explodes or something.
Alright.
Yeah, that's what I was half expecting to happen with the ape was after everybody thought everything was fine, then
I'm just paranoid about the apes just like always getting all violent and killing everyone. After that one movie with the weird like alien spacecraft thing that was actually a creature, and they were talking about like the past where this kid was on a show and there was like an ape that was part of the show, and something happened and it went all AWOL and killed everyone.
I think humans have just been so obsessed with making apes into these evil things that are gonna come out and kill us, and I'm sick of it. I think it's ridiculous.
That would have been funny if they would have set the ape up there. And would have came back as the Planet of the Apes.
They see the
ape. Even funnier if they sent the ape up there, and they
like,
tried to experiment on the ape, and then the ape ended up like taking over their species and killing them.
Come back out as Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, but if it was...
make it Planet of the Apes for them.
Yeah.
But if they did take over that species and it was all apes, and like it would probably, like by the time they got there, humans probably would have been advanced enough.
Right. So say they sent the ape up there, and the ape takes over and starts becoming smart and saw all that stuff. And within 400 years, what if humanity wiped themselves out? And then they get here and it's just an empty, barren planet, and the apes take over.
But based on their logic, humans would have far surpassed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're sort of just assuming
As bad as we are, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we are long dead by 400 years.
I sent you a PDF for a story that I heard when I was a kid about the rain hat. And how the little girl gets caught in the rain, and she takes off her hat, makes a boat, she crashes it, which rips the front and the back off, and then eventually the top comes off, and then it turns into a life jacket. That's what I think of when I see a paper boat like that.
I think of little, like, weird races that we had when we were kids that were with paper boats and stuff like that.
I just think of...
going down like a rain-soaked gutter or something.
That rain just made me think of, like, all those moments when you're really, really thirsty and you drink really nice water.
Alright. Okay, y'all, we have one more episode to go. I'm going to wrap this up. I am done for the week. I will see you next week. Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.